Welcome, folks. I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK. We're looking at Disney's Jungle Cruise trailer, which dropped this morning. Haven't seen anything from this so far. This is going to be my first time seeing anything from it at all. This is the first trailer. It's not the first trailer.
There was a teaser.
There was a teaser. Yeah, so I haven't seen the teaser trailer. So here we go.
So what are you doing out here?
There is a legend in the jungles of the Amazon of a tree that heals all. It could change the world, but if it gets into the wrong hands, it could awaken a great evil. I believe that the legend is real,
Which it's not.
and I'm going to find it.
Which you won't.
And when I do, just imagine the lives that could be saved.
I've been looking for this tree longer than anybody. I've tracked the legend to every village, every island. Nothing. You're searching for something that can't be found.
But you've never had the key.
Let's do something that's safe. Let's go see some elephants.
There are no elephants in the Amazon, and I don't even like elephants.
Lady, everybody likes elephants. Know this about the jungle. Everything that you see wants to kill you, and can. Careful. They can smell fear.
I am not afraid. Oh my gosh.
Who brings a submarine to the Amazon? Fire! Good night. Oh, I got you.
Frank, get it.
Hold on.
Come on.
I got it.
Frank.
I don't got it.
No. For goodness sake, just leave me alone. That was a disaster.
Didn't go the way I planned.
Well, I mean, that seems fun. You know, the weirdest thought popped into my head when the cruise ship was crashing into the swamp building structure.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, Disney could have its own Waterworld type show that would be really, really interesting. And for those of you who have never seen it, like around the world, there's a Universal Studios Waterworld show here where it's really epic. It used to be Miami Vice back in the day. But it's like you see actual stunt people doing these crazy stuff in front of you and like explosions and whatnot. It's pretty epic. And I feel like Disney could have its own version of that with Jungle Cruise. Like it would be kind of fascinating because like the Jungle Cruise ride inspires this wild movie.
Yeah.
And then this movie inspires some kind of
A
like
wilder
live stunt show. Yeah, like a live stunt show. That'd be cool. Like, I think that they could totally expand. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that something like a movie inspired something that exists in the park. Like, for instance, Pirates of the Caribbean inspired the movie, and then they added Jack Sparrow to the ride.
I know, it's just kind of wild to me that they've taken inspiration from this very classic Disney ride and then turned what was a pretty, like, chill, tame attraction at the park into this rip-roaring adventure. You know, like I never would have kind of pieced those two together. But then I suppose even the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland is pretty chill compared to the movies, which are like swashbuckling adventures. You know what I mean?
I don't know what I would... I mean, I suppose it's chill now, but back when it first came out, that wasn't chill. It was pretty epic and... You know, it was like no one really was doing that when that came out. You know, that ride was brand new. And even now, like you look at it and you think about when it first came out, it's pretty incredible what they were able to pull off. And so the other thing that people don't really talk about is the Haunted House, the Eddie Murphy adaptation that was done.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't anywhere nearly as successful as Pirates of the Caribbean, but I can see this being quite successful. I mean, you got The Rock and Emily Blunt, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt together, and I think that they could make a fun pairing. I like Emily Blunt a lot.
Yes.
She's just a very, very talented. I mean, we also watched her in Mary Poppins, and she did a fantastic job there. Like, she was... I didn't love Mary Poppins at all, but I liked her a lot, and I just wanted more of her in that movie. And so, you know, her, and of course The Rock is just...
always entertaining.
Yeah, his personality is just always. You could just point a camera at him reading a phone book, and he'd probably be fun to watch. So he's just got their personalities together could be an explosive chemistry that's fun. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that here. The only thing that I sort of wish from this is more characters, if anything. It did feel a little bit like, oh, it's just them two.
Yeah, it's like, here's our 2 stars. We've, spent a bunch of money on getting them to be in this movie, and let's just have them.
Yeah, because, you go on the Jungle Cruise ride, and it's like anything else that's a water-based ride at any theme park. It's a crew of people. And so you go on Roaring Rapids or whatever. Is that Knott's Berry Farm, I believe? Or is that Disneyland as well? I don't remember. I think that's Knott's Berry Farm. And so the thing is, what makes that so enjoyable is the fact that you're doing it with like 10 people or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You stick your belongings into this like little plastic shell and just hope to God that it doesn't get ruined while you're just getting splashed on left, right, and center. And so at Jungle Cruise, it's been such a long time since I went on it, but you had this very like entertaining guy who's like almost like the tram guy at Universal Studios. Someone who's just got a lot of personality, sort of leading the way. And collectively, as a group of people, you're like kind of it's fun because it's a group of you. And so it's a little ironic to me that for this epic thing that they only had the 2 of them. That would be like my one complaint is it would have been nice to have extra people like a Simon Pegg or something. Just more people.
Unless like The Rock is supposed to be that comedic guy, because he can be really funny. He's a very funny guy, but
no, I'm not saying. There's no reason you can't have more funny people.
No, I agree.
So all I'm saying is like that's the one element of this where I'm kind of just thrown. But outside of that, I mean, the CGI looks serviceable. It's not a movie for grown-ups. It's a movie for kids that is palatable for grown-ups.
Right.
And so it's fine for what it is, and I'm happy to watch it. It's like it looks fun.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, clearly it's going to be this like summer movie. It's coming out July 24th, so it's going to be like, hey, kids are out of school.
Yeah.
Just take them to the movies,
But the CGI, just to be specific, is the animal CGI. Like I understand why they are doing like animal CGI like 100% of the time now.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I feel like sometimes it looks perfect, and then sometimes it just looks like a cartoon. Like with Lion King, even though I wasn't a fan of the remake, there were instances where I thought I was watching National Geographic.
Yeah. Like
it looked really photoreal. And then there's other instances where it just doesn't look right. The dog in that Harrison Ford movie, I haven't seen
Call of the Wild, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but just from that trailer, it just didn't look right. And so this is one of those instances where it's sort of halfway between. But maybe it's one of those things where it'll get more refined before the film comes out.
Right.
I've heard that a lot. That's not necessarily something I agree with philosophically, but that does happen. So that's a more of a minute thing. The real draw for me is the duo of Emily Blunt and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
And it looks like they're having a good chemistry there as well. She's kind of being the feisty female who's all like, I can do it myself. And then he's all like, here, let me help you. Yeah. And not doing a very good job at it,
Yeah. That moment was really cool when he's like swinging across with her. He's like, I got it. And he puts his foot up. That's a joke I've never seen before. Yeah. Honestly. Because you see that as a classic trope that existed in so many movies. Like, you go back to something even like Star Wars, where Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, swing across whatchamacallit.
And they always make it.
They always make it.
Yeah.
And so I think Indiana Jones even had something like that at one point. I can't remember exactly. I'm sure someone can point that out. But in here, it's like he's barely got his foot. It's one of those things where I think about, and I go, what if that actually happened? Like, where you tried to swing with someone and then the worst possible, barring you falling, the worst possible thing happens. Like, you don't actually fully make it. That's funny.
I liked also what was it? I think it was a leopard or something. That joke where he's like, be careful, they can smell fear. And she's all like, I'm not afraid. And it turns out to be him. I didn't see that one coming either. But maybe I'm blind.
That was a pretty obvious joke.
Oh. So easily amused.
Yeah. Just add a fart in there and Charles will be
Oh my
happy.
God. I'm sure there's gotta be like one fart joke in there for the kids.
I forgot the name of that actor who was from Breaking Bad. He's a very interesting actor. He's
The
been,
guy that plays the bad guy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's from Breaking Bad.
I recognize him, but I don't know where from.
He's in a bunch of stuff. He just shows up randomly, like in these different. It's like, oh, that guy from Breaking Bad. He was in El Camino as well. So he's an interesting actor who I wasn't sure how I felt about initially, but like he's grown on me over the years. He's really, really talented. And so, yeah, you got a nice cast of people here, and it's just a fun summer epic, you know?
Yeah.
And hopefully it fares better than, I don't see this doing like Pirates of the Caribbean money, but hopefully it fares much, much better than The Haunted House. So, but I could be wrong. Like this could go on to become like a huge sensation because, you know, The Rock,
He's a big pool.
he's a big pull, and it's like I can't think of anything that I've watched of his where I was like, yeah, that was terrible. You know, like for instance, Hobbs and Shaw, I didn't love it. Like a lot of people love that movie, like they just really, really, really enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but it's like I can't say that I hated it because it was so much fun. You know?
Yeah, I mean even things like Skyscraper or
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's just like it's
like,
just like it can't be mad at it. It's I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm buying.
Yeah.
So it's just fun, and so that's sort of what I'm getting here. Even what's it called? No Pain No Gain. Is that what it's called? The one directed by Michael Bay, where with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh,
I think it's called No Pain No
I haven't
Gain.
seen that
Oh
one.
my god, that is such a fun movie. It's unexpected. It's like you don't see it coming. It's just so much fun.
It just like blindsides you with the fun.
Well, because you're expecting. Yeah. Anyway, it's another conversation. It's a fun film. If you guys haven't seen it, it's probably on Netflix. Anyway, I think we've covered this. So let us know your feelings in the comments below, and check out our other reactions, reviews, short films, vlogs, and interviews. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.